kind of pay-per-view. People aren't used to Fox pay-per-view, you know? Is this a $25 pay-per-view? Is this a $50 pay-per-view? Is this another $80 pay-per-view? What kind of pay-per-view is it? How many buys do they get, you know? We know Spence is the champ. We know Mikey's a champ. We know they both have a following. How many people are really going to come out of pocket for the fight? I think it's a tremendous fight. I think it's worth whatever they charge, you know? But that's me. That's not everybody, and not everybody has in their pocket what I got in my pocket. So, you know, it's up for debate whether or not they want to do it. Go watch it at a wing house. Go sit on a buddy's couch who can't help but not to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. That's why my philosophy in this sport and how I got to the top is just one step at a time. We keep moving forward. But whomever I fight, whenever I fight them, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be very methodical. I'm going to be stronger, faster, and smarter, baby.
You said you're the #1 heavyweight. Who would you say would be the other two to complete the top 3, like behind you?
#1 heavyweight,
I mean,
I'll take a heavyweight paycheck, but I don't.
My bad. You said you're the #1.
Then I will be run time, boy. I will run. It will be sprint time.
Okay? Who's your top 3 behind you at welterweight? My bad.
I mean, Errol Spence and everything else. Keep Thurman #1, Errol Spence #2, and everything else is debatable. I've said it many times. I don't give Crawford any credit at 147 yet. He hasn't gotten any credentials off of me. I made the statement that the boy hasn't even fought an Amir Khan, and all of a sudden they're acting like they want to fight Amir Khan. I mean, that's a fight you know, years ago on Amir's side, you know, he was a 140 pounder. You know, so at the end of the day, but I still like that fight for Crawford. When it comes to competing in the welterweight division, he's done nothing. You know, I mean, there's, because I was saying, what's the Horn? You know, I was saying that I think Amir Khan would beat Jeff Horn. You know, so at the end of the day, I just let him beat Amir Khan. Let him beat somebody else. You know, I don't know. I just don't believe in the 3. So because a lot of people are gonna want to put Bud there, but then my thing is, it ain't like he beat Sean Porter. You know, Sean Porter actually might be #3. You know, I always said Sean Porter is ultimately like top 5. He's never. I don't think he's gonna leave the top 5. It's gonna be really hard unless we get proven wrong with Ugas. Ugas can slide in. You know what I'm saying, with a victory over Sean. So that's why, you know, I don't really care, man. You know, and I really don't care if you consider me #1, 2, 3, or anything, man. You know, at the end of the day, you can't put me lower than 3. What are you gonna do? Put 2 names above me, and you're gonna have some of your peers looking at you sideways anyways? Like, I don't care, man. All that I care about is training, staying healthy, getting back in the ring, getting back on TV. Fox, this thing with Fox is a big thing. You know, we're gonna have a lot of eyes, a lot of viewers, and just being the undefeated champion of the world, man. And just providing exciting fights for the sport of boxing. You know, not only am I good at my job, but I think I'm one of the best and most entertaining fighters in the sport of boxing today. You got 12 different weight classes, but there's not that many people that really stand out, and that's all that I'm trying to do in this division is stand out. I'm not afraid to let it go. If you beat me, then we're gonna know Keith Thurman's not #1. Now he actually is #2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, even if I was #3, if let's just say Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence beat Keith Thurman, #3, I still have an opportunity to have a beautiful career. See, that's what you guys really don't understand. When you have blood, sweat, and tears, and you work as hard as I work to do what I do, you just want to be in the ring. You just want to be a part of the action. Look at the beautiful career Adrian Broner's had. He's had a beautiful career, and he's not the best fighter in the world. So I'm here with my career. You are witnessing my career. I just don't want to be the average fighter. I want to be legendary, and that's what we're trying to do.
When you talk about legendary, you mentioned about Manny Pacquiao. Is that going to be one of, like, let's say, I don't want to say regret, one of the letdowns if you never get that fight, knowing that he's still in the game and also?
I mean, not having Manny, they're both letdowns to a degree. I mean, I rose to the top of the welterweight division pretty quick, you know, and yet I didn't get a piece of that action, you know. I really wanted a piece of that action, and I probably was premature at that time, and who knows what happened with that action, but at least I wanted a piece. And so if I can get a piece before Manny gets away, I'm gonna thank God for that, you know what I mean? Because he's a legend. He has a big fan base, and it'd be good for my brand notoriety and just another notch on the belt, you know. Ex multiple champion Manny Pacquiao. But at the end of the day, we're just here doing our best, man. Trying to reunify, like I said, separate myself from my competition, and then just add to the collection.
If there's odds that you and AB will make some for some good press conferences.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm not. See, that's funny, man. Like, I'm not that interested. But if he starts running his mouth and seeing, depending on what happens, see, that's the real talk is once when I'm back. Yes, I want my belt. Every other fight is negotiable, man. It's negotiable. We can negotiate. Who wants to negotiate?
In terms of pound-for-pound status, Mikey Garcia was another fighter who was on the shelf for a while. He said he needed that time off to reflect and actually get back into loving boxing again. Does that process flow through your mind that you can take the same Mikey Garcia route and jump right back in? And did you need that time off?
No, I didn't need that time off. I needed that time off because I was injured. You know what I mean? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I don't know what made him have his time off. You know what I mean? But my time off was physical. If I was physically prepared, I would not have enjoyed being inactive for that long. I mean, fighting once in a year and then fighting around the next year, that's enough freaking time in itself. You know what I mean? 22 months, that's way too long. If I had options, you know, we didn't have options. So now we're getting back into the ring.
Do you think you'll knock Jose out? Personally, like looking
I mean,
your gut feeling?
at the end of the day, the statistics say he doesn't go past the 6 with a puncher, right? Madonna, Berto, Canelo got him out in 5. You know, if I want to outshow everybody, I got to do it in 4, you know, or less, you know. But I love his confidence coming into this fight, you know, and he's been through a lot in the sport of boxing. So you got to ask, you know, he knows exactly what it's like to fight punchers and fight champions of this caliber. Where's that confidence come from, you know? He keeps saying the new training, what they're doing, how hard he's prepared for this fight, you know. I think, you know, 15 years of being a pro, he feels like a bottle of wine, that he's finally, you know, this is the time you're supposed to open up the bottle. This is the time for Jose Cito Lopez to become champion. I'm going to see what kind of Jose Cito Lopez, what kind of opponent I have on the 26th. But, you know, I want to reestablish my skill set, and I want to reestablish some of my power, and I might even have to stop moving. It looks nice. I love watching. I just love watching them miss. I just love watching them miss. You know what I'm saying? But I might have to take a few to land a few just to get the show over early. You know, we'll see. I mean, and this is one of those kind of fights. It can be that kind of fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
So you are putting it in your mind that you want to get him out of there by 4 to blow everyone else out what they've done before.
You got into my mind. You said, you supposed to knock him out? Well, if I knock him out, you know, the bookies are going to bet that it's by the 6th round because that's normally how it goes. And in the sport of boxing, we have a saying, everybody's strong for the first 4 rounds, okay? This is a 12-round championship fight, you know? So everybody's strong for the first 4 rounds. So anytime a fighter stops another fighter within those first 4 rounds, that is making a big statement, you know, because he didn't have time to die out. That man is still as strong as he was practically in the 1st round, in the 4th round. So, you know, that's just my mind, how my mind analyzes that question, because we've already gone over it as a team. You know, we want to make a statement. We'd like to get the knockout. You know, Canelo did it to the body. Berto did it on the chin. You know, how's Thurman going to do it? Where's he going to do it? What round am I going to do it? Does he even do it? You know, so it just is what it is, man.
Key, every time you break down a fight, it's usually correct, your predictions. Mikey's mentioned that he's taking the Errol Spence fight because he sees some flaws in him. That's why he took the fight. If I also ask you, what are those flaws that he sees in Errol Spence, knowing that you're a fighter?
Well, in football, I'm from, Tampa Bay, so we roll with the Buccaneers, They ain't do nothing but that one year, boy, everybody was happy, But back in the day when I was watching the Bucs, we had Mike Allstott. And we used to always say, on 4th and 1, Mike Allstott is getting the ball. Doesn't mean you can stop him from getting that yard, man. Just because you know what's going to happen doesn't mean that you can do anything about it. Just because there's holes inside Swiss cheese doesn't mean that you can fill it, okay? So that's just the reality, man. And there's no such thing as a perfect fighter. Why do you think I got so many haters and this and that? Oh, Thurman this, Thurman that. Floyd had haters. Oh, Floyd does this, Floyd does that. Cool. Get in there and do something about it. Do something about it. Mikey is the smaller guy. He does have a respectable punch. I think it still can be a respectable punch at 147 because a punch is a punch is a punch. You got that punch, you got that punch. You normally can carry it up into weight, but it's more, is he going to land that punch? He didn't drop Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner's not the biggest dude, and Adrian Broner's not the slickest and doesn't have the best defense, but he does keep his hands up pretty nice, And I just don't like Mikey's competition prior to an Errol Spence. It's not, fighting those guys in lower weight classes and then jumping to the upper echelon of the welterweight division. I'd rather see Garcia versus Garcia, man. But he's been very adamant about this, and he's getting what he asked for. And we're going to see if he can live up to his word. I told everybody, he must have a magic trick up his sleeve. Penn and Teller fooled us because I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced, man.